Happy holidays! Let's get to decorating some Baby It's Cold Outside themed sugar cookies. But first, we're going to dive into this toolkit. Piping bags are here first, and those mini marshmallows. And we can't forget these spatulas, along with all sorts of toppings. Let's grab all of our sprinkles and make sure that we pour them out onto our plate here. Everything from the peppermint, which we want to make sure we break up ahead of time, gets a little bit stiff there in shipping, along with all different kinds of toppings. We want to make sure that they each have their own separate piles on the plates. Let's pack some frosting together. Take your first piping bag and you're going to put your hand in it like the world's worst medical glove. Then you're going to take that empty cup and put the base of the piping bag in it and just unfold the edges around your hand to going around the edge of the cup like so. Once that part's finished, you're going to end up taking your first color, and today we will use teal as the first color. So we're going to open this up here and we're going to take one of our spatulas, and with that spatula, we are just going to mix the color up and pour all of that frosting right in to that piping bag in your cup, just like so. Once you've finished with that step, you're just going to peel the edges of that piping bag right up, and you're going to have the cleanest piping bag you have ever filled. Ta-da! And then you're just going to repeat this with the rest of the colors. All right, let's start cutting open these piping bags. We're going to start with our green, and this one, it can be as big as you want it to be, but let's try to keep it maybe cut about 1/4 of an inch or so down. And this is going to be nice for some detail work and some background piping. For our blue, this one can be even larger, so you can cut it even further down, because that one's just going to be for backgrounds today. And our white frosting, we want this one to be cut much closer to the top, along with our pink, because we're using both of those for details. Let's kick off our cookie decorating by learning a new technique. Of course, it's a new one. It's our first one of the day, called the butter method. This is for the background of our snow globe cookie, where we pipe a dollop of frosting on like this, and then we take our spatula and we spread that frosting all over the cookie, just like spreading butter onto a piece of toast. That's why I call this method the butter method. It's my favorite way to get a color spread across the background of a cookie, nice and smooth. All right, now if you look here, you can see some beautiful sparkly sprinkles on the snow, and that's what we're gonna do next. So first, before we do anything else, we're gonna take our white frosting and we're gonna pipe some awesome snow here, and starting with that horizon line. Then you're just gonna fill in the base area here with some white frosting. And once you have it all done, as you can tell, I'm adding a lot, right? We really want it to raise up off that blue section of the cookie. And this is because we're about to do my favorite part, which is dipping it in the sanding sugar crystals. So watch closely as we dip this frosting right into the sanding sugar. Notice that this might be a little messy. If your cookies are ever messy on the edges, just take your scribe tool here and shave the edges wherever you want to. See, look at how much this is perfecting it already. That is gonna be a very good tip to use the rest of the day. Before we pipe our snowman on, I want us to add a beautiful little detail, and that's this glare that you see right here. So if we're pretending that our shape is a clock, we're gonna pipe a little line from the 2 to 3 o'clock portion with a little dot right on top. And this is one of those fine details that's gonna make this look like an actual snow globe. Now we're gonna pipe 3 dots, one on top of the next, just like so. And then we're gonna get to add all the fun sprinkles that go into it. Enjoy, have fun with this part. Make them look however you want. Let's add some little eyes to our guy here with those little black nonpareils. To do this, you're gonna pipe a little bit of frosting and get it right on the end of your scribe tool, and then dip that scribe tool into one of the nonpareils so it'll stick to it just like this. And then use it to place it right on your snowman, just like I am here for the little eyes. Now, if they're having a hard time sticking, you can use the other end of your scribe tool to perfect exactly where they lie. It's a little tricky, but I think you'll get the hang of it. Time to pipe some trees on in the background before our masterpiece can be complete. As you can see, I just like to pipe little V's upside down. I think it makes the perfect shape for a tree. And also, you cannot forget to add those wonderful little chocolate sprinkles to be our little tree trunks, can ya? And lastly, we're piping on a cute little bottom here. And now we officially have our completed snow globe. Congrats, you finished your first cookie. On to cookie number 2. It's time to decorate that adorable snowflake that you guys are eyeing up. I like to decorate on the backs of some cookies, especially when they have nice sharp edges like this. We're gonna start with that butter method again, and this time with the blue only going all across the back. Except, here's the thing, it's gonna get really messy, and don't worry about making it nice and neat. This cookie is gonna be messy before it's pretty, okay? So you're gonna start with the blue background, like it's the beautiful blue sky, and then we're gonna have fun learning how to add a special marbling technique. But notice how I didn't put enough frosting on, so I'm loading it up here. So be sure to load yours up too. Now's the fun part, and it's time to marble. To do this, you're gonna pipe a couple dots of frosting. You're gonna add some pink, a little bit of white, and if you want to, you can even add some green, but I really recommend we keep it nice and light. And here, you're just gonna take your spatula and do single moves across the cookie, right? You really want this to look like, kind of just like a color of pink going across the sky, a color of white going across the sky. Now, I'd really like to marble and get some more blue in there, but if we mix it too much, it's gonna turn into a color of purple. So this is why I keep adding dollops and just doing one swift movement across the cookie. And I really like the way this looks right here. So this is what we're gonna keep to be our finished product for the background. Doesn't it just look like a windy sky? Like you can just see there's so much motion in it. Now I'm gonna take the scribe tool and I'm gonna shave the edges and I think you're gonna like how clean it looks. Now, if you want to add another little touch of magic to this cookie, get some of those white sanding sugar crystals and sprinkle them all over the background. This is going to make it look like a beautiful snowy day with other snowflakes floating in the background. Next, let's talk about piping these lines for a snowflake. I'm going to show you first how people typically like to pipe a line. And if you do it this way, it's okay. This way is the normal way that people try to do it at first, and that's when they hold their bag really close to the cookie and draw it across like a pencil. Instead, try this. You tap the edge of your piping bag down, and squeezing it with an even pressure, you actually lift the piping bag up off the cookie and lay it down like a piece of thread. Here I am showing the first way again. And now one more time, we're gonna demonstrate piping the end, lifting the bag off the cookie. And that's exactly what we wanted. All right, so let's start this one off by piping a straight line right down the middle. And then we're just gonna rotate and do the next section along with that last one. Super simple. And from here, we're gonna look at each of these like they are now 6 individual sections. And you wanna pipe a line from the very middle of that smaller line right out to those little indentations. For this cookie, we really wanna utilize the shape to tell us where we're piping. So we found the middle, we piped it out to that little indentation, and on the other side. Middle, indentation, other side, over and over. Here, let's go ahead and pipe little dots right into the center of those little diamonds we made before we do the next step, which is where we're gonna pipe from these angles that I'm pointing out here directly again into that center line. Just like this. We have a section, we found the middle of the section, and we're piping out to the edge. Here's the section, there's the middle, and we're piping out to the edge again, each time. Now, if your white frosting bag is too thick to do this and to make it look clean, like if you cut your tip a little too large, that's okay. Don't stress about it. You can add dots. You don't need to add anything. This is just a design that we really like here to use. And now look at that beautiful snowflake. I will say, in case you want to add one little extra piece of flair, this is really for those people who want to go the extra mile. If you pipe a dot and then drag it in toward the center, it creates this beautiful teardrop shape, and I think it really completes the look. Congratulations, you've officially finished your second cookie. I'm so proud of you. Last but not least, time for cookie number 3, our mug of hot cocoa, of course. Here, we're gonna pipe the edges of where our mug is going to sit. So I like to pipe a line right across that top there, and then also a line on the right-hand side to finish off the shape of the mug so that we have a little bit of room for the handle on the right-hand side there. You better believe we're gonna use that wonderful butter method right there in the center with plenty of frosting. So here I go, about to spread it across the whole cookie. Oh my gosh, doesn't that just look delicious? Now let's pipe a little curlicue for a handle. This next spot, we're actually gonna take our white frosting and we are gonna pipe right across here. You can actually cut the tip of your frosting bag to be a little bit bigger for this portion, though you don't have to. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna pipe some whipped cream onto our mug of hot cocoa, and we're gonna go left to right a couple times. You can see here that I didn't cut my bag any larger, but it will be easier to do if you do. See, look, one side to the next. Then we top the next one side to the next. And then that tippy top, we're gonna just make a nice little curly Q. Oh my gosh, can you almost taste it? I swear I can. Let's top it with some sprinkles. What toppings would go in your hot cocoa mug? Let's put some peppermint in here. And of course, you absolutely cannot forget the mini marshmallows. Any other sprinkles you want to put in? Have fun. Now that we've piped the base of our mug, this is up to you. Have as much fun decorating it however you want. I really love using our pink frosting here to put some fun little details. I think I'm gonna spell out the word joy. It's one of my favorite words this year, and of course it's perfect for this time of year, along with piping some nice little beading. What are you gonna put? How are you gonna personalize your mug of hot cocoa? Congrats, way to go! You've officially finished your third cookie in all 3 designs. Please, oh please, if you're gonna share any of this on social, be sure to tag us, the.messy.cookie. We can't wait to see it. And if you do tag us on anything that you share, whether it's in your story or in a post, you're gonna get entered to win a month of our new cookie decorating subscription box. I can't wait to share it with you. Happy holidays!